Started with Datafy. We offer a CLI in which you can easily create new projects. So let's just go right ahead and do that. You just say to the CLI, go Datafy project new, and you give it a name, let's say trial project, and you also give it a template. The template makes it so that it fills in some defaults for you, it sets the folder structure correctly, so you can focus on building your data pipelines and not on working on all of these boilerplate code. So if you do that, it asks a bunch of questions to me. Let's just all take the defaults, like what's the project name, the module name, the workflow start date, the workflow schedule, and whether we want to use pip tools or pipenv. So let's just go with the defaults, and we're happy with that. What you'll see is it created a folder for you. So if you go into that folder, as I said, we followed the template. So it filled out some things for you already. It created some files for you. It created some folders for you. And that makes it so that we can just already start building and deploying this project. So if you now say, go Datafy project build, what it will do is it will wrap up everything in a Docker container, and it will push that Docker container to the cloud, to your cloud environment. Once that is done, we will be able to deploy that Docker container to an environment of our choice. So while it's uploading, it is quickly relevant to explain. Datafy has a notion of projects. That's what you're seeing here. Projects is a bunch of Python code or Scala code or Spark code. It could be whatever, anything that you can wrap in a Docker container. And then you build that Docker container and you deploy it to an environment. And an environment can be a simple dev or production environment. It can also be your own test environment. We are very dynamic with updating and creating environments for you. I'm going to quickly fast forward until all of this is uploaded, and then I'll continue the video. All right, so it's finally there. As you know, pushing Docker containers to the cloud can sometimes take a while. Maybe for those of you who are not familiar or so familiar with Docker containers, the nice thing is that now whenever you change something, it only has to update like the final layer of your Docker container. So uploading it doesn't take this long all the time. Anyway, so now our project is built and it's ready to be deployed to an environment. So the command for that is also very simple. So we can just say go Datafy project deploy. We just have to tell it to which environment to deploy to, and let's just take the dev environment for now. And you see it's now create pending. It's waiting. It is taking a few minutes to deploy it to an environment, and it will be there in a few minutes. In the meantime, let's go to the UI. So this is the Datafy UI. This is still a very early prototype. We're working on a new UI as we speak, actually. But as you can see, here we have two environments, a dev and a prod environment. Both have their own link to Airflow, because we use Airflow for workflow management, and a link to the application logs. It also has a list of projects. And there you can see our trial project that was created a while ago. It is already being deployed to the dev environment, as you can see. So if we go to dev now and we go to deployments, what you will see here is the trial project. It's also nice to go back and see at the events what happened to the environment, what were the last logs of the environment. We can also have some application logs. At the moment there are none because no application has recently run. But if you just ran a Spark job and that container is still available in your environment, you could look at the Spark UI here. So yeah, let's go to Airflow. Let's see what we see here. The project is not there yet. I think it still takes some time to deploy. So if we refresh it a bit, yeah, you see the schedule might not be running. That's a typical sign that it's Airflow is being rebooted with the new project being added to Airflow. So let's refresh this a few times. There it is. Here's your trial project that we just created. By default, the DAG is off, but we can turn it on and just quickly look at what it does. In the end, it's a very simple sample program. The only thing that thing does is enter hello world. If you look at the tree view, it's waiting. It's waiting for run. It will be light green soon. Yeah, so now it's running. If it's running, that also means we can go back to the Datafy UI and we can try to look at the logs. You see, boom, and maybe the Spark UI has that already. No, it's still there. So while it's running, you can look at the Spark UI. Once it's done running, you can look at the logs of this simple service. You can see that here. Yeah, and if you go quickly back to Airflow, we should see that by now, it's still running. That's good. Soon it will be done. And when it's done, yeah, you can move on to the next job, basically. So this is a quick walkthrough of Datafy. It allows you, I hope I've demonstrated to you, it quickly allows you to create a new project with all the right project structure in place, with source files, with test files, with a Docker file, with everything you need. It allows you to quickly build that source code and quickly deploy it to an environment. And now once it's in your environment, it's being completely managed here by Datafy. Thanks for your time.